Yo, can I get in on this? I want another 1, 2. 1, 2. Oh, you thought it was through. This was just one assignment, boo. Judge checking with God, getting next instructions. You need an advocate, reach out, he might be coming.
This young black king needs no introduction. When he shows up, haters hate seeing him coming.
And no, he's not Malcolm, he's not Martin either. He got his own style.
Ja-da-da-ya, we see ya. This crew, they not looking for the credit. Advocates on the move. This crew, shifting the atmosphere. Advocates on the move.
And when he comes through, you know they coming too. Hey yo, INA, where you at? What it do? They got receipts, they got them files. They gone investigating advocate, holding it down.
And when it comes to intel, you know they showing out. You smiling in Jed's face.
Hold up, check that file. Don't run up on them either, they always in the crowd. INA got his back, you don't know when they around.
This crew, they not looking for the credit. Advocates on the move. This crew, shifting the atmosphere. Advocates on the move.
And then there's Jed's mother, you know she gon' speak. She praying for the people, prophesying what she see.
Jed, God got you covered, he's holding you down. He's showing you his favor, his mercy, his power.
So always stay humble, give God your best. Remember you're a man, ain't no S on your chest. You know where help comes from when you're up or you're down. That crew runs deep, keep the real ones around.
This crew, they not looking for the credit. Advocates on the move. This crew, shifting the atmosphere. Advocates on the move.
Yeah. That crew runs deep, keep the real ones around. Keep the real ones around. INA runs deep, keep the real ones around. Keep the real ones around. The real ones around. INA runs deep, keep the real ones around.
What's up, you? How you doing? This here is Investigating Advocate, where injustice finds no rest. And I'm the proud host of this broadcast. Hold on 1 second. And I'm the proud host of this broadcast, Jedediah. I also happen to be the leader of the forming family that is being birthed out of this for the culture, where I serve as the commander. I hope that you all are having a good day. And I don't know what you're doing or where you are, but I pray that you find a moment to just like smile and to feel good and to have a bit of joy, because this world right now, especially the United States of America, we're going down a rabbit hole that is unfortunate. But I'm also convinced that we can get out of it if people can remember the larger picture. You may have seen it already, but if you didn't, as of today, I met with my campaign, my forming campaign for Illinois 02 congressional run. I was running for United States Congress in the United States House of Representatives. And I was extremely extremely excited about it. But moments ago, we've released our official statement suspending our campaign. And I want to read that statement to you for really quickly. The debate within has truly concluded. I was extremely excited to join the campaign trail and demonstrate the greatness of the little guy despite the odds. However, considering the state of our union and my personal sentiment with the Democrats, whom I've always been a part of and voted for, I simply can't, in good conscience, file nomination paperwork for a party that has failed to deliver and taken advantage of my community. Illinois is a Democrat stronghold, and our plight is their creation. Republicans offer no real refuge to turn to at this time, so I'm stuck experiencing the brunt of the political impact as everyone else. I will also refuse, I will press our legislative branch to do greater at protecting our democracy and staying engaged. I will also refuse the path of hatred due to a difference of opinion. I will speak loudly and work tirelessly doing my part for us. I believe I need to continue my work of learning and working to bring some healing to our nation because partisan politics has become our true enemy instead of our greatest asset. To those gearing up with me, I appreciate you with my whole heart and pray you will continue the mission of creating policy to inspire a true union in America. I will be heavily involved in this race while also pushing for unity and real results across the nation. This is certainly not the last you've heard of me. God willing, we will make a difference in the appropriate lane. That is a statement that I released this morning with our campaign for United States Congress. And some people literally, we did not raise $1. We did not get one petition circulated. We didn't even get to start in a real sense outside of organizing who the team would be, trying to figure out what our agenda and policy would be, and creating our strategic plan to introduce ourselves to the voting body throughout the Illinois 2nd Congressional District. I'm not ashamed. I don't feel bad. I'm very much so in high spirit. And the reason why is because my soul is just not for sale. And my character will not be diluted in hopes of getting a role, as well as the things that I feel and the sentiment that I have within. I think that it is important that I always be true to who I am and who God have called me to be, no matter what it does or doesn't do for me. And I just don't believe in the type of compromise that I was basically being pitted up against to run for the Democrat Party. I literally, as God is my witness, every single time that I sat down to fill out the paperwork, when it came to putting down my party, it was almost as a repulsive regurgitation, a feel that I involuntarily felt because I am not happy and I'm not satisfied with the Democrats in Illinois. And the reason why I talk the way that I talk, again, is because my life has not been overwhelmingly or majorly impacted by Republicans, because I've always been under the Democratic rule as it relates to where I reside, except for in Texas. And that I basically kind of sort of as a home has been great, and I've not been too involved in Texas. So I don't ultimately count it as it relates to where my family is. I've always maintained, I think this is the most important part or aspect for things that I've already said. I have always maintained my residence in Chicago. I just don't talk about it because of what I do. As you see, being an advocate and being vocal, being controversial is dangerous. If nothing else, you all can at least acknowledge that there is real danger in the seat that I sit in. And no, I wasn't doing it on the scale of a Charlie Kirk. But you guys have seen it yourselves as people that pursued me, people that wished for my demise and my destruction, all because of a difference of opinion or them not understanding or appreciating my approach. But at the end of the day, when you look at what I've done, I've literally been attacked for showing up. It's crazy. And when you think about the length that I've gone for where I've shown up, why would anybody be mad at me? Or why would anybody target me or pursue me? Literally to this very moment, one of these people are still talking about an illness and a person and an attempt on them, and we literally are doing nothing but responding to their court petitions. That's it. That is literally the only thing that we're doing right now. We're not trying to make a case about a person's health status. We're not really worried about what they got or got not going on. We're not in pursuit of them in any shape, form, or fashion, but you still consistently see posting about things that are being done against them when in fact, they're the ones that has this stuff tied up in court proceedings. Today, I am encouraged because it just means that I got to continue to work in a different way and the way that I've been doing it. And so, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say some things because I really want to be clear here. I have amassed quite a bit of a following of white people. Like a lot. A ton of them. And I found it to be particularly interesting because, even though the visible demographic may be older Black women, that has primarily been made up of my visible following. If you really do the research, you find out that I have a tremendous amount of middle class white people who follow and contributed to my advocacy over the last year and a half. And the reason why that is interesting is because, and I'm going to say this because I need to be very clear, because I've already known this. I don't think that they as much as love my views or me as much as they enjoyed me challenging a Black woman in a seat of authority. Now, I don't think that will ring true for all, but I do believe that a great deal of that is true for the majority. She was hailed as the worst mayor in America. So I believe that a lot of the sustainability of that fight overall was because people were trying to help me do what they wanted to do, but couldn't do without having certain labels attached to them. Did that make sense? Okay. So now let's tell you about what happens right now. I am so happy that we have suspended this campaign. I am getting ready to take my trip to California. I'm going to, I did not get my meeting with YouTube. I have requested it again. I'm going to YouTube. I'm going to YouTube. I am going physically to YouTube headquarters because there are some things that I want to make them aware of, and there's some ideas, and there are some items that I want to see if they will and or can consider. That's number one. I'm not going to talk about the fullness of my plan here, but ladies and gentlemen, I think that I have a level of clarity that I've not had, that I am excited about, because it is time for America to get her ass whooped. And now let me be clear about that. America needs to get her ass whooped with a belt in the hand of somebody who cares about the longevity, the health, the focus, and the interests of this nation. Right now, as I put in my statement, I will reaffirm it. Partisan politics has become the ultimate danger to the fabric of American society. Right now, it is pick if you red or blue, conservative or liberal, if you are right wing or left wing, it is all about what side you are on and not about how these differences of opinions create a diverse country that we are all able to thrive in. And I'm going to be very clear here because I now believe that there is a new space that has been etched out for the truth. And I think that that space, interestingly enough, was carved out by Charlie Kirk. I had no idea of the influence, of the effect of this man over the last 3 days. I have been researching Charlie Kirk. I've been researching his movement. I've been researching his rhetoric. And I am absolutely astounded because the colleges of our nation, where the people are getting an education and will interestingly be the ones who will literally inhabit the jobs or have the jobs that literally will be shaping the perspective and the viability of America. He was on the trail doing the work of sharing his views and his opinion. And guess what? I'm not threatened by it. I am not intimidated by it. I'm not mad at it. And once again, I see what I don't hear enough people paying attention to. In America, we are able to disagree. And guess what? Me talking about my plight as a black man and me asserting what I will and will not tolerate should not lend me over to the ideas of being less than, better than, a threat. It shouldn't be negative. That's my point. I listened to this man. I listened to a lot of his conversation. I am not mad, but I'm clear. And that's why I made the statement, and I'm going to stand firmly on that. And I should have the right to do that. I am not celebrating, nor am I mourning. And I'm not. And people say, well, you need to take his comments in the proper context. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. I don't care how much other things he said. As a matter of fact, when I was standing in Thornton Township, I said a lot of great stuff that was proper. But the moment that I called this woman a B, everything else became overshadowed, and I understand it. And I'm not mad about it, and I stand by my statements. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you today. I don't care about the context, but when you say that black women don't have the brain processing power, there is no context. So what I now need to do is that I need to see your truth and I need to help your perspective, because clearly you ain't never, ever ran into the black women that I know, and I'm not mad at you for not knowing them. But what I am going to do is I'm going to make sure that black women with the brain processing power that I've always valued, love, and understand are risen to the top of everything that I do, because I want to help you get what you got twisted, untwisted. When I was saying that I was running for Congress, I made it clear. I would not speak to nor for white plight, because I've never been white a day in my life. And the only way that I could have been a good legislator was that when it came to white issues, I shut my mouth, opened both of my ears, and made sure that when policy was created, it was done so that everybody can prosper and not one would have the advantage over the other. Right now, this is the problem. Everybody is looking for the advantage, not for the American dream. Life liberty, the pursuit of happiness. We were supposed to be a nation that was a union, that together we were unstoppable and we were the example before the world. We're not that anymore. I learned something while I was getting ready to run this race that really, really, really blessed my soul. Cadillac was on its way to being bankrupt. They were not selling cars like they needed to. They were not giving loans to people of color to get cars. The only way that a person of color had a car was so that they could chauffeur their white leaders, masters, counterparts, bosses around in. They were getting ready to tank. Cadillac was. And then Cadillac decided, well, why don't we start selling black Cadillacs to black people? And the reason why black people had the money to buy the Cadillacs is because black money was not accepted in the banks. So the black people had their wealth and their riches, which whatever that was or wasn't, in their possession. They started to get the ability to buy Cadillacs, to drive their bosses around. And guess what? Black people saved Cadillac. They became one of the top brands of our society when they was on the brink of bankruptcy. So I don't care how you frame it or what you say or how you want to present it. We are viable in this country. We should be respected in this country. And guess what? The story is not being told the proper way. When you try to create a divide, somebody loses. We all do. But when we start understanding that literally, and this is what I said earlier, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Some of my biggest enemies have been the same color of me. Just because you're the color of my skin don't mean that you carry the heart condition that I carry. And we're getting it wrong every day, all day. And the reason why we're getting it wrong is because we're sitting up there trying to attribute all of our fears to us. We're looking at this through the eyes of fear of what it would look like if it was me. That is the problem with America right now. White people are trying to, and let me take this a step further. Because I'm just astounded about how we're not positioning ourselves to respond. DEI does not mean that we're not qualified. It means that we're given an opportunity to take the role, but we still have the knowledge and meet the standards. We still got to go through the courses. We still got to complete the classes. Having a space available for us when we complete it is not us having something that creates that lowers the threshold of our capabilities. Because before there was DEI for people of color, I want to say this with my foot planted flat. DEI was found in the fact that people that were white were either related or were friends of somebody in these industries. The same damn thing. There are literal kids who grew up with positions set aside for them, and they didn't even probably have to go through half the struggles to get it, and that was DEI for white people, and we've been watching it in our face literally all of our lives. So don't tell me that just because in society they put a position or two aside for black people that we do not have the competence, nor the education, nor the qualifications, nor the ability to have the same damn role and do the same damn job, if not better, because a position was set aside. And then turn around and say that we make up literally less than 40% of the population. Then what you concerned about? If we're talking about literally the numbers, the reason why it is set aside is because literally overwhelmingly, y'all keep passing it to one another and y'all not inclusive. And that is also why redlining is a problem and it's very real. Don't talk to me about violence and crime statistically when you know that without jobs, economic opportunity, or parents in your home, quality education, you are prone to criminality. That's what the statistics also say. And when your community literally simply wants to judge and point the finger, don't abort, but we don't want to give you nothing to sustain, shut your mouth. That was not the message of Christ. That was fear. That was supremacy. That was ignorance. Because I'll tell you this, as I now want you all to pay very close attention. There was a man with a difference of opinion who came to the vigil of Mr. Charlie Kirk. And what happened to him? He got attacked. But they say that the left is prone to violence, when the truth is we all are. People used to tell us all the time, why don't you comply with the police? If you comply, there's no problem. If you comply, there's no problem. But the moment that Donald Trump was losing that election, compliance went out the door when we watched mobs of white people literally storm and overtake our capital. Half of those people could be traced back to saying that we should have complied. And then the woman who enters in the chamber who lost her life is hailed as a hero. I see your hypocrisy. You are literally trying to reinforce supremacy under the auspices of my Bible, and that is not how it reads. All of these supposed Christians calling for the death penalty of the young man who took the life of Charlie are no better than him taking the life of Charlie, because clearly you all are telling me that death is a right recompense when you are offended, when you are mad, when you feel away. Capital punishment is should be the only wheelhouse of God. No man should have the decision or the right to take another man's life, not unless in self-defense. Where is the preaching of his soul being saved? Because that's what my Bible reads. Because Jesus, as I said in another broadcast, Jesus was not praying for the people who crucified him to die. He said, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." And all over America right now in these colleges, campuses, you hearing them saying that now we are all Charlie Kirk. If I say that I am upset about what he said about black people, then somehow I lose a follower, or I'm unpatriotic, or I'm ungodly. But then if I turn around and say, well, all blondes, aren't they dumb? Then I'm being an ignorant, dumb coon. No, I see what you're doing. You're hiding your hatred under our Bible, and you're trying to make me feel bad about my pride. And I refuse it and I reject it on every level. There's extremists on the left, there's extremists on the right, and at the end of the day, we are all losing because it is a divisive tactic for us to not get along and be together. So here goes. I understand my mission right now. I got to get my black butt in my Bible, and it's time for me to take my ability to go throughout this nation, and I'm going to now be the person that talks the talk that we don't want to hear. That's what I got to do. I got to do it. I'm going to do it. And we're starting in September. And the first place that I'm going to is Midlothian, Illinois. You are never killed until you become a threat. And that's the thing that I got to say, that I've accepted. I'm going to die. I don't know how, but I know it now, to the point where I'm okay with it. I know this, but I want it to be very clear here. So if they ever have to play this video on the tail end of whatever may or may not happen to me in my life, I am okay with it, because I'd rather go a person that stood on his laurels and told the truth as I believe it, than somebody who sat down and cowered it. They said, Jedediah, you're running for Congress. You don't speak about Charlie Kirk. Everything doesn't need a response. Excuse me? When somebody disparages black women, do you think as a black man I'm supposed to be silent for the sake of trying to win a seat? Fuck that seat. And when you try to represent my God and the values of the God that I believe in, and you think that my God wanted me to be subjugated, you got it twisted. So what am I getting ready to do? I'm going to be calling Republicans and Democrats of the state of Illinois, and it's time for us to come together, and it's time for us to face this truth, this hard truth. Let me tell you the truth. As it relates to Illinois, the Democrats suck. They suck. They suck. They suck. Every single one of them. And you know why? Because they don't have the strength and the courage inside of themselves to even hold each other accountable. And you suck not knowing that your quality of life is directly connected to the politics that's literally governing your life. And I can't run to the Republicans because they seem like they don't want, What the hell? What the hell? What the hell with the Heliante? What? Talking about some Chicago flips red. No, the hell we not. We not flipping no damn red. Because what does red mean for us? It's not even clear. I hope I made sense in what I'm saying. I, as of today, I feel stuck. I feel stuck. But the only reason why I feel stuck is because that's the trick of the enemy. I don't have to limit myself to a party. I am a free man in America. I don't have to limit myself to an ideology. Let me be very clear here. Let me be extremely clear here. If they can advocate for the death penalty of the young man who took the life of Charlie Kirk, then they need to mind their business as it relates to abortion. Because it's sheer hypocrisy. Don't exterminate somebody you don't want and then tell people that they shouldn't be able to think like that, especially if their baby came to them by way of a crime. Did you hear what I just said? It's complete self-righteous hypocrisy. So if I was to be a legislator, it's really clear to me. We need to outlaw the death penalty. It is a hateful thing, and it is literally us playing God, which we shouldn't do. And we should leave the decision of abortion resources to the states. That should not be a national decision when the Republican value is that there should not be big government, and the Democratic value is that you should have the ability to choose what you want to do with your own body. This is not a hard sell. Stop thinking you better than somebody. Mind your business, stay in your lane, and go to go to the part of the country that matches your belief system. But for the federal government to try to regulate abortion, that is wrong. If you're going to believe in capital punishment up to somebody having their life taken from them. So we could take the life of an adult. Come on, man. I know that I'm making sense to somebody. This is not hard. But we can't get to that part because right now, everybody's playing, I am better than you. And then utilizing the Bible to validate foolishness. Somebody got to say something different. Somebody got to stand up. Somebody got to say what ain't being said. Just like I was talking yesterday. I got a great deal of appreciation for Money Boy Trey. He said he doesn't believe in God. That didn't offend me. When I got off of the live, I didn't say, oh, he going to hell and I'm better than him and he's stupid and none of this. When I got off of the live, I said, God, because I believe in you. If you be real, if you exist, then I pray that you will get the attention of this man and that you will show him yourself, because I can't show him you, only you can. As a believer, I got the responsibility to pray for him while he was able to get off live talking this shit and go get him a sandwich and laugh about the live. I couldn't go laugh about it because my soul grieved at the fact that somebody out here don't know how good my God really is. So what do I got to be mad about? God, reveal yourself to him. And I was so happy that when he spoke, it wasn't nothing that I needed to go research. When he talked about how God had a chosen people, and I was able to break it down. God don't have a privileged people. He got a responsible people. Being chosen of God means that you suffer literally because God wants you to be an example. He wants you to be an intercessor. He wants you to stand proxy for people, which means that you will go through all manner of warfare simply because God picked you to be proof so that he can reveal himself that he exists. That's it. He didn't save us so that we can become better. He didn't choose us so that we can be greater looking down. And he sure didn't provide for us so that we can become selfish and gluttonous. He did it because to whom much is given, much is required. Because you got access from me, you will be the most serving of all of them in humanity. That's it. If the people of the right wanted to hear God's true message as an evangelical, then you would get this. And if it's only 13, if we only make up 13% of the population and we seem to be at the bottom of the barrel, then you are not representing the values of God, because God said, go to the least amongst them and build them up. Literally, if we are the minority, then it shouldn't be a hard lift to them to repair and to restore and to give reparation to people that have literally come into this country by an unfortunate force. It ain't that hard. Y'all don't want to hear it. This is, I'm so ready. This ain't that hard. But I get it. And I'm excited. This is what I'm on. This is what I'm on. And people are looking at me and they're like, dang, I'm like, okay, I understand this. When we had a two-party system in America, it was literally so that we can have a difference of opinion and negotiate to the end, and have the means to an end. Somebody said, you look like you're stressed out on live. No, I'm not stressed out. I'm not stressed out. Y'all, I'm passionate, man. Y'all. Y'all say I'm stressed out, but then go to the church and lift your hands when the preacher look even worse than this, screaming and all that other stuff, and he just allowing the anointing to flow. I grew up watching the most orators be preachers, so forgive me that I shout. I'm a product of my environment, but I'm not stressed out or any of that. Judge not that you be not judged. Stop worrying about who somebody's sleeping with. If what they eat don't make you shit, mind your business. Love them. Because let me tell you something, and this is what I've always said. If literally what they're doing is wrong, it will fail them. And when it failed them, you're supposed to be there to show them the way. You are not supposed to condemn. There is no condemnation. That's the message of Christ. So let me help you out. But the problem with America is gay people want all the rights and don't want nobody else to have none. And then people that are heterosexual want all the rights and don't want gay people to have none. You're both wrong. You're both missing it. You're both is off kilter. When you put up a flag of a rainbow in a business, then how does that supposed to make a person that's heterosexual feel? When they get a flag, then they're being hate filled. So you want to be able to express your pride, but they can't express theirs. That is wrong. You're not looking for equal. You're looking for an advantage, and that is not good for nobody, and it's not God. God, too much of anything is a bad thing. Mind your business. I can love you no matter who you love, as long as you ain't doing nothing that's unlawful like children or animals, because guess what? I ain't going to be in the bed with you. And I'm going to pray for you, because that's my responsibility and my role as a citizen of this nation. You can be with two men, can be together, two women can be together. That ain't my business if that ain't what I'm into. And if you want to be with the opposite sex, that ain't my business. That's who you want to be with and be into. What you trying to govern somebody else's house for? Oh, I don't want to see it, and I don't want to do it. You mean to tell me that the images of your house are more powerful, are not more powerful than the images outside of your house? Tell on yourself. You shouldn't be worried about people same gender loving, expressing their care. If you got your house the right way, then why isn't people don't want me to get out there and be able to talk. Because I'm going to say it again. If you got a heterosexual relationship that's producing all the goods, then why would you be worried about two people that's not outshining you in your house? Oh, wait a minute. You ain't got no man. So now let's pause and take a check with that. As it relates to the Bible, work out your own soul salvation with fear and trembling. It's a problem on both sides. LGBTQA don't want to be killed because of their deciding of what their identity is. And then you give them that, and you give that, and then what happens? Now we want to be able to integrate bathrooms. Now we want children to be able to make the decisions on their own and get these things happen. You're doing too much. Get your ability to pick who you love. Make sure you can lead them what you want to leave them and sit the hell down. We want absolute authoritarianism, everybody being a freaking brat, nobody's being grown. But I'm gonna tell you something that the victimization network of Thornton Township taught me. People will be completely pumped up in their delusions and their self-righteousness because guess what? Exactly what these individuals are doing with Charlie Kirk is what these few fools have been doing to me. They want to do it, but they don't want it done to them. They want to be able to call people all kind of stuff, but if you call them something, they want to fall out. It's self-righteousness. It is literally a plague of illness that is moving through our nation and is moving through our streets, and somebody got to check it. And the crazy part about the message, I'm not going to go viral. I got to get out there. I got to get out there. It's time for me to speak over the highways and the byways and compel America to come to its senses. So here, now, I'm not no grifter. I'm not nobody's fool. I'm not playing no games. All I can do is ask y'all to help me to organize because I'm telling you exactly what I'm on. We starting next month. I need to rent a facility. We're going to host a forum and we're going to bring sides together. And it's time for us to do what Charlie was doing in these colleges all over America. And I have told all of the leaders of INA, this is what I'm on. First city is Midlothian, Illinois. I'm going to talk about, we are going to extract the truth about what the Democratic Party has not done in this state. And I need y'all to understand this. Until we learn to become independent in our thinking, they're going to continue to play partisan games that keep us limited, keep us distracted, and keep us diluted from the true potential and power that we hold. I am asking today, not for you all to take care of my personal needs, but you know that. I'm asking y'all, like I asked before, to help resource my ability to do more for society. I cannot afford this all on my own. And today I pray to God that somebody will hear the message, understand its intent, and resource this organization so we can go. Man, I'm just asking y'all, I said this to the whole time when I was in Dalton. Give me a chance. Give me a chance. I want to organize us. And then I need us to be clear here. I should be able to talk about what I've experienced in this country under white leadership and white policies, white ideology, and it not mean that I hate white people. But we need to be honest about our individual contributions to the collective and stop being so offensive all the time. And then we need to figure out that these are the problems and let's resolve it. Families that literally are able to talk about what they did and did not do and still love each other at the end of the day are the greatest families that survive and are thriving and that are around. Somebody said, it seems like you're all over the place. Well, we in trouble. Immigration, violence, cost of living, politics, religion. The enemy is running amok. Kevin said, I gave $6, dang, and we taking every dime of it, and I'm finna get us moving and organized. I'm finna talk, man. There is something that can be done. But the crazy part about it is that people don't want to do the work. But here is where I'm at. Send me, I'll go. Send me, I'll go. I will become the Charlie Kirk of the people. Man, and I'm not afraid to say the hard stuff, but I think that we need to put it in the proper context. Charlie Kirk said a lot of stuff, and I found it real interesting. Candace Owens, somebody really needed to go and pinch her ass under her arm. because she couldn't find a tear to save her own soul. But she over there speaking about how Charlie Kirk was her friend. And yes, she's a black woman by color. I sometimes could say this with my whole face firmly. I'm proud to be black, but sometimes I can't stand black people. I see a lot of white people that hell, sometimes I can't stand y'all, but I don't hate you. I don't want to see you destroyed. I don't need you to be subjugated to me. And I don't need you to agree with me. All I need you to do is do your thing and let me do my thing. And when we can do it together, we do that. So Jedediah is not running for United States Congress. I cannot run under the Democratic Party. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm finna mess up. Shh. I'm finna get on a call right now with some mayors in the Southland of Illinois. Right now. Jesus Christ, how do I do this? Shoot. Hey, Mayor, could you do me a favor? Can you guys all just try? I'm trying to. I did not realize the time, so I'm trying to get the Zoom link. But can you all try to call each other? Maybe everybody get on three-way, and then you call my phone, because that may work. Because I don't have access to the Zoom at the moment. I'm trying to get it.
Okay, let me see.
But I'm gonna keep on working on the Zoom. I know we got about 1 minute. We're supposed to be on that call, so give me 30 seconds, and I shall find an answer. But try to get them all on three-way if you can.
Okay.
All right. So right now, I'm about to get on a call with a group of mayors from the south suburbs of Illinois, and this conversation is about what I'm intending to do. Y'all do not have to believe anything that I'm saying, but there's ever been a time in my life when I'm about to use the weight of my ability. It's about to be right now. I am about to go national. I was trying to wait till I had 100 people, and I was trying to, build up the organization in a slow way. But nope, with what I'm seeing, we in trouble. We are in so much trouble that it is unreal. And people are literally mad to the point where they want to get physical. And you ain't got to believe me, but y'all gonna see it. And so I'm asking for those of you. Hey, how the hell could I not get a Zoom now? So we're gonna start in Illinois. We're gonna be in Midlothian. It's gonna be next month. I think it's gonna be the third week of of the month. I'm going to be bringing together Republicans, Democrats, and independents. And I want to do this in a way that send a strong message to the Democrat Party. You ain't got shit in the bag. And I want to do it to the Republican Party. Y'all need to check your approach. But I want to ultimately tell people it's time for us to become one nation, in the sense that we need to put the policies down, and we need to start making sure that what we demand is what's being delivered. Somebody asked me about, and so I done shut down all of this Charlie Kirk back and forth bullshit. And that's all I'm doing now. Is basically, when people talk to me about the things that make me feel the way, how the hell you gonna tell me that I'm basically being away when, and you're not even willing to acknowledge how I feel? You don't care about me. So now, instead of me going back and forth about that, I just simply ask those questions about those comments. Do you feel that Black people lack the cognitive processing power to do a decent job? Do you think that when Black people are in certain roles, does it put you in fear about, because these are the messages that bother me. And since you don't want to acknowledge how I feel, and you want me to ignore how I feel, then why don't you tell me about how you feel, because you was the student. And when you do that, you start figuring out a lot of stuff. I am not interested in worrying about Charlie Kirk. He is gone on. I'm worried about us that are down here, and we got work to do. And we need to now understand that even if a seed has been planted, we got to watch what we water, and we got to make sure that the right ingredients is in the seed. As long as people have basically started and knowing the name of Jesus, I can start there. But when it comes to how we then carry that name, now we got to start completing the conversation, because God don't see the limits of our color, but God is not going to ignore the reality of our plight. And what we got to stop doing is trying to allow people to make us feel guilty about what we celebrate, and we got to stop allowing people to make us feel bad about what we stand up for, and we got to stop allowing people to make us feel like we being victims when we tell people about how we feel. If you can assert your beliefs, then I can assert mine too. It don't mean that you're my enemy. It don't mean I want your destruction. It don't mean that I cannot follow you. It don't mean that I cannot be alongside you. But what it does mean is we need to sit down and reason, because baby, you ain't got it all and I ain't got it all either. And at the end of the day, if we sit down and we yield this up to God and we negotiate the greatness of each other, if we are a union, we should be able to find a way to do this. And right now, we all in this posture, and the world is looking at what could be the fall of America's influence if America don't get her sense. I'm ready. I'm ready. And I'm going to keep on studying, and I'm going to keep on watching. Shoot, I cannot get... Dang. I'm normally able to get stuff right away, but this is my fault. Tell me that I'm not talking right. Now, with that being said, are you all going to help me get the resources? Forget those idiots talking about all that stuff, because the greatest delivery is going to be to actually do it. I need y'all to help me get this off the ground and moving. Let's go. Who gonna partner with me? And I'm finna get on this thing with these mayors, and I'm finna tell them, you're gonna open your cities. We coming. This ain't no shift event. We finna shift all this bullshit. And to all of the white people who became followers of mine through the Dalton saga, listen to me. I'm gonna hold you accountable, us accountable. Me jumping on Donald Trump's stage in 2016 did not mean that I wasn't willing to lay in front of Barack Obama's house while he was the president. Me being in front of Obama's house didn't mean that I wasn't going to hold Bernie Sanders accountable, just like it doesn't mean that I wasn't going to tell Rahm Emanuel to kiss my black ass. Me telling Rahm Emanuel that I that he could kiss my black ass don't mean that I wasn't going to show up in Dalton and give Tiffany hell for what she was doing and how she was leading in Dalton. Me basically standing up to Tiffany Henyard don't mean that I will not stand up to the rhetoric and what I disagree with Charlie Kirk. Me saying that I don't what I don't, but guess what? All of that tells you one thing. I believe in kicking hell. Just because I said what I said about, I don't like what he said about black people, don't mean that I won't take a casket outside of the mayor of Flint's front doorstep. Do you get it? If you are in a seat of authority, you should be accountable, held accountable. I don't care about your color, your creed, orientation, your party, your affiliation, none of that. But guess what? We ain't always got to fight. Harvey. That's why Harvey mad at me. Because I went and I spoke to their mayor, and it's in order. It's getting in order. Right on, Mr. Clark. Keep it going. All right. I'm so irritated because now I can't find no help on this Zoom. Freak. Let me see. How do I start a meeting? Okay. I appreciate the pair, but you don't think I asked the same thing before I walked away? Whoa. Moneyboy Trey, are you talking about as it relates to God to show himself to you if he's real? Did you just say that? Is that what you meant? See, y'all, now that right there, bruh, y'all don't, that right there, you just saw it in real time. I ain't have, oh my God, bro. That man just stirred my soul. He said, don't think oh my God. I wouldn't, oh my God. I don't even know, I can't even talk right now. That man has asserted out of his mouth, I don't believe in God. I used to believe in God. And then he walked away from that saying, God, if you real, show me. And I'm trying to tell y'all that me as a believer, an imperfect believer, when I heard it, I wasn't mad, offended. I didn't feel like I needed to badger him or beat him down, look down, or think any different of him. It became my responsibility to pray. And for him to ask that and to welcome that, now I got to go back and say, God, you heard it. And guess what? I don't know what got him to that point. So that's why condemning him is literally the worst thing that human beings could do. But guess what? If God don't introduce himself, ain't nothing I can do about it. But when he does, and he said, I've been waiting for 10 years. And I'm going to tell you something, money boy Trey. I was a pastor for 10 years. And I lost all my faith. And I lost everything. I got my faith back. And I've been on my journey of getting back to God for over 5-6 years. But once you get back, bro, you're going to be a force. And ain't nobody going to be able to mess with you. Nobody. And today you gave me hope. You give me hope today. And everybody that's in the comment section that have ever listened to or watched Money Boy Trey, you all should be praying for that brother, encouraging that brother, and reinforcing it that God gonna do exactly, man. Jesus Christ. So I gotta ask, is there anybody on here that believe that this is worth helping to create? Be the one that helped start it. Thank y'all so much. We got $45, but it's 200 some people on here. How you doing, Mayor? I sent you the link. Did you get it? Did you get the link?
You sent it?
Yeah, send your text.
Oh, let me.
So I'm waiting on you guys.
Okay, all
right. So once these mayors start jumping on this call, I'm gonna have to jump off. But is there any questions? Let me take 5 questions really quickly. Let's go. Hallelujah, Jesus. I don't want, and if you've been a contributor, then I ain't asking, I'm not talking to y'all. Some of y'all done way more than enough. I am not talking to you. But I know for a fact that it's gonna happen. That's why I ain't even worried about it. I ain't tripping. And I'm just humbly stating that I need partnership. I need those of you all who can link arms with me, those who are resourced and able to get me the ability to do this on a greater level playing field. We are taking this off the internet. We are bringing it into reality. You all will be able to be there online. But as it relates to equipment, if it relates to the getting of a facility, having food, or whatever we need to do, that is why I'm asking you all for the resources to do this. And I'm giving you a date, the 3rd week of September. I'm giving you a location. Midlothian, Illinois is the first place that we're going to go. So it is not like I'm shooting this in the wind. I got to deliver. If I don't deliver, you will know. But I'm going to be the man that brings the Republicans and the Democrats into one room, and we're going to get this thing in order. Because it literally is a ploy and a play, and we are the pawns, and we can change this. We can change this. And I believe that Black people need to stop making excuses for the enjoyment of these welfare programs and then try to cloak our laziness in people trying to hold us down. We are literally under siege right now because we are not doing our part. But at the same time, I want for the people who are not Black to stop pointing your finger, because guess what? 2 days in our shoes, you wouldn't make it, because your privilege has always provided for you. And those of you all who are not necessarily have it all, let's be clear here. The welfare system is made up majority of people who don't look like me, and it ain't just got nothing to do with the fact that we are literally a small minority of the population. Do I think that Charlie Kirk's message was flawed? Tremendously. Do I think that Charlie Kirk could have made it to heaven? That is not something that I want to try to play with, because again, that ain't within our scope. However, I do know God prayed for the people who was trying to kill him. So I wouldn't have a thought. I would just say, can I get in too? Hello, how are you?
All right, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. Yeah, the link is working. Okay, I'll see everybody's gonna come in. I'm excited about it. Okay.
Okay.
Somebody else just came in, right? Yeah. Hello, sir. How are you? How you doing, sir? Can you hear me? Oh, it says connect. How you doing, sir?
Fine, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Hey, Melvin. Yeah, how you doing? All right.
Yo. Can I get in on this? I want another one, two. 1, 2. Oh, you thought it was through. This was just one assignment, boo. Judge checking with God, getting next instructions. You need an advocate, reach out, he might be coming.
This young black king needs no introduction. When he shows up, haters hate seeing him coming.
And no, he's not Malcolm, he's not Martin either. He got his own style.
Ja-da-da-ya, we see ya. This crew, they not looking for the credit. Advocates on the move. This crew, shifting the atmosphere. Advocates on the move.
And when he comes through, you know they coming too. Hey yo, I